Hello, Squadron. Welcome back. For those who are new, my name is Omar. Yes, and we are here to do the collective reading for the month of July. So sit back, get comfortable. I'm going to do those housekeeping things that I need to do. Number one, do not get hung up on the gender of the cards. We all have masculine and feminine energy in us. Number two, in tarot reading, in tarot readings, your energy and the people you are energetically connected to can come through in the reading. So listen to all of the cards' meanings to see how they will best be fitting your situation. Number three, tarot readings are timeless. So this energy can already be happening for you or has not happened yet. I'm just using the month in perspective to kind of zero or lock in on that energy. And finally, if you're enjoying this reading and you would like to book your own personal reading, my Instagram link and my email will be down in the description. I do in person and also virtual sessions. All right. That's everything. That is everything. So let's get into it. If you are new, I tend to break the reading down as love and relationships, career and finances, and creativity and spirituality. So you will always walk away from my reading with something. So let's get the cards. I'm going to start off with Crystal Visions. Hold on for a second. There we go. Forgot something that I needed to go get. Okay. Now, cards. We can get into the reading. So, starting off, calling out to the supreme source of all, the universe, and the spirit teams, souls, and higher selves of the collectives, as well as any other light beings of positive influence and intentions that wish to work with the collective for their highest and greatest good. I'm channeling for the month of July. I'm channeling for the month of July. I'm channeling for the month of July. Okay. Okay. I think the deck is ready. Is it ready? All right. Takes a lot sometimes to prime the deck and get the energy just right. For the month of July, can we get cards relating to love and relationships, career and finances, creativity and spirituality, love and relationships, money and finances. Oh, I said money and finances, career finances, creativity and spirituality. One last time, love and relationships, career and finances. One card came out, spirituality and creativity, love and relationships. Oh, career finances up, spirituality and creativity. Wow. So we got 4 cards out with that. I'm going to take them. So what are our 4 cards for the month? Collective. All of the cards are in reverse. This is a new one. I've never did a reading where all of the overall energy cards for the month are in reverse. Now, cards in reverse don't necessarily mean that it's bad energy. It could just mean that there is something that you're releasing, you're unburdening yourself with, you're getting a new perspective, or you're being forced to get a new perspective. I will say this is not surprising, seeing as though for the month of July, Pluto was already retrograding. We just started Mercury retrograde, and both Neptune and Saturn will be retrograding in Aries. Won't lie, kind of seems on point for this month. So the cards that you have out, you got the Knight of Wands in reverse, Two of Wands in reverse, Ten of Swords in reverse, and last but certainly not least, the World in reverse. So what does all of this mean? Knight of Wands energy in reverse. This is speaking to either you or someone in your environment, whether it's someone that's currently in your environment or is going to be coming into your environment. Knights are fixed energy. This is Leo energy because it is wands, it's fire. But I'm really feeling, so I'm getting a different feel than what this card normally stands for. So I'm going to read what this card normally stands for in reverse, and then I'm going to give you my take. Because this is the Crystal Visions deck, and it does have a different meaning than the standard tarot decks that I use. So in Crystal Visions, when the Knight of Wands appears reversed in a spread, it can represent a person who is cocky, arrogant, and rash. The Knight of Wands reversed can indicate an irresponsible, jealous, or insensitive business or romantic partner. So that's one way that you can read it, and especially for those who are taking this as a love reading. Another energy that I got is just a lack of fire, a lack of passion, confronting the fact that either for a while now or even recently, something that you've been wanting to get off of the ground, you're not having the motivation, there's a lot of procrastination, it's just not going. Like there's no go. So see it as either way. It could be like a jealous or a cocky person, and it will be for those individuals in the collective that resonate with that message, whether you are that Knight of Wands energy or this is someone in your environment. But I'm also very much getting for the other segment of the collective, this is going to be an energy of confronting that lack of fire, that lack of passion. Something is just missing. I'm hearing the spark is missing. And the fact that the spark is missing is coming down to the fact that you have been struggling to make a Two of Wands choice. Two cards in tarot that deal with decision making. You have the Two of Swords, which is having a hard time making the decision. And then you have, the Two of Swords is about having a hard time with making a decision. Then you have the Two of Wands that is about having a hard time with making a choice in where to focus, go after, what's your next creative pursuit? Also, spiritual path too. Like you come to an impasse and you're trying to decide whether to continue on the spiritual path that you're already on or to embrace a new spiritual path. I will, of course, read the Crystal Visions meaning again. Two of Wands here. And a spread represents unfocused energy, disorganization, and recklessness. If there is a partnership involved, it can indicate a significant difference in creative vision and goals. And the reason why they keep talking about romantic and also business or creative pursuits is because in tarot, Wands energy does signify your spiritual world. It's also your creative pursuits. Like I said earlier, it's about what lights you up, that fire in your belly. This can also signify a weakening in masculine energy, more of a difficulty in taking charge and making those decisions. All of this, especially with Neptune and Saturn going in retrograde later on this month, this might be something that comes up. Like you might be dealing with the pre-shadow now. Thank you. You might be dealing with the pre-shadow of this energy now, but later on in the month when both officially go retrograde, that's when this energy is going to be hitting you harder. And then we have the Ten of Swords in reverse, by the way. I love the fact that the Ten of Swords is out here in reverse. Ten of Swords in reverse is about finally getting out of a rock bottom situation. How can you not love that? Okay. Trying to see if they're telling me there's going to be more about this card when I switch over to my secondary deck. But right now, I'm just feeling like a huge relief with this card being in reverse. I feel like people are like, that's it, there's no more. That's why I'm going to the book. So when it's reverse, it can indicate that one is ready to recover from a truly devastating situation. The person is stronger than ever. Having survived such a terrible experiences, the lessons learned will prevent one from repeating their mistakes and will be remembered for the rest of their days. Okay, so this is a significant lesson. This is swords, meaning that swords rule over communication and your mental faculties. I'm not like I took a pause there because something was coming through about the fact that this could be a face off between the mind and the soul. There was conflict there. There was struggle where your mind wanted to go in one direction, your soul wanted to go in another direction. And I feel like this is like the aftermath of whatever path you decided to take. That's meant for someone. That's meant for someone in particular to hear. That felt like a channeled message, less about the cards and more about just what that person in particular needed as a sign or confirmation. And then last but not least, we have the world. The world is the last of the major arcana cards. It is number 21. It is about wrapping up the current cycle that you're in so that you can embrace a new one. But as you can see, she is in reverse, meaning something is holding you back and keeping you stuck in this cycle that you're being called to end. And thankfully, this will be the last card I have to read the meaning for because we can go into my other decks. Well, my other deck, which I know so much more about the meaning because it fits more traditional right away. But yes, when the world is reversed, it can indicate that one, it's close to completing a cycle and seeing the big picture. However, there are still things one doesn't fully understand and necessary steps to take in order to finish the journey. It is important to complete these steps in order to achieve desired goals and a higher purpose. I'm going to be honest with you, collective. This reading definitely feels like you have been stuck for a while. Like, I don't think this is more so like you get into July and now you're stuck. This feels more like for those who are watching this video, you've been stuck for a while, and this is confirmation about why you feel so stuck. And I'm just going to rapid fire it. Number one, it doesn't matter what you've been trying to do, you just haven't been able to you haven't been able to make the momentum or the progress, thank you, that you wanted to. With this card, you've been so worried about making a choice, and I feel like you're using everything other than what you're supposed to do. Because when you're making this choice with the Two of Wands, this is not something that you're deciding with your head. You're deciding this with your soul. This is a soul-led project, path, um, the next leg of your spiritual journey. Everything that you need is in your soul. This is not something where you're going to be able to come across the right article or you're going to be able to come across that right. I mean, technically, you are watching this video to get confirmation. So can't say you're not going to get the confirmation in the video, but it really seems like you're looking outside of yourself for fear that you're going to decide the wrong path, the wrong endeavor, the wrong whatever. And it's like, no, anything that you hear, and this includes this video, listen, this includes this video and what I'm channeling, is only supplementing or confirming what you already know. Your soul knows the answer. This reading is just confirming what you've been, no, oh, I heard what you've been dreading. Okay, yeah, for some of you, you have the answer. You don't want to accept the answer. And this video, this reading is going to be the confirmation. You can be like, yeah, I knew that, but I kind of wish you had something different, because even though you know the path, you're scared about walking down the path because of what it will mean. I feel a deep fear of leaving something behind. People, situations, a job, I'm not gonna lie, relationship, familiarity. Whatever is familiar, you're worried about leaving behind on this new path with that card in particular. Eight of Swords, you're coming out of the worst rock bottom you've ever experienced. This could have been a dark night of the soul. This could have been a relationship that you thought you would never get over. This could be losing a job, and you've just been stressed out and worried about how you're going to pay your bills. Whatever this worst case scenario is, it is over. Even though it may not feel like it's over, the worst of it is over, and you're coming out into an upswing. And then the world, again, this really just feels like you don't want to leave something behind. I don't know what it is. We're going to get clarity, because that is really annoying me. It's like something you don't want to leave behind. What do you not want to leave behind, collective? Let's see. Going to continue with this deck now. Let me sit back in the chair. I need to get comfortable, because there's something off with this energy. Like I said, it's the first time I've gotten all cards out in reverse in a very long time, if ever, when it comes to a reading. So let's start off with this Knight. What is this Knight trying to say in reverse? What is the Knight of Wands trying to say in reverse? What does the Knight of Wands? There we go, just flipped out. Thank you. Anxiety. Yeah, anxiety held you back. The Nine of Swords in upright is about anxiety, worry, fear, depression, nightmares, insomnia, hopelessness, trauma, and despair. It's in reverse. Again, you're coming out on the other side. You've been your own worst enemy, collective. You've been your own worst enemy. I'm gonna be honest, you were worrying too much about how what you're going to do is going to affect other people. Like, if I decide to walk this path, who am I leaving behind? Who am I going to upset? Are people going to think I'm weird? Are people going to are no longer going to support me? It's all the, thank you, the what ifs. You ran every possible what if. I wouldn't be surprised if you've also done multiple pro and con lists. You have been up at night just worrying about everything that can possibly go wrong, and not realizing that this cycle needs to end. Yep. Inner turmoil, deep-seated fears, secrets, releasing worry, hope, and reaching out when this card is in reverse. Okay. Moving on to the Two of Wands. Can I get a card for better clarity for the Two of Wands? Can I get better clarity with the Two of Wands for the collective? Two of Wands, speak to me. Two of Wands has two cards that jumped out. Why won't you let something die? Eight of Cups in reverse. That's the leaving card. You're emotionally struggling with leaving a situation that is no longer beneficial for you. Eight of Cups in reverse is about trying one more time. You don't need to try one more time. You don't need to try one more time. Indecision, aimless drifting, avoidance, fear of change, and fear of loss. This is why I'm saying you don't need to try one more time. The card underneath of it, death. Let it die. Can't be saved. Okay? Whatever choice that you're being called to make in the month of July is for your highest and greatest good because something in your life needs to die, a relationship, a situation, a job, upright, endings, beginnings, change, transformation, transition, metamorphosis, and end of cycle. I don't need to say it. The cards are saying it. Ten of Swords. Also notice the fact, okay, I can acknowledge it. This Ten of Swords is very much linked in with the Knight and the Nine of Swords because Nine of Swords from Ten of Swords, there's an Ace of Swords in reverse. Again, just confirming that there was a conversation that didn't go the way it needed to, a rejection of an idea, rejection of a perspective, delays, standstills, like all of that. Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords. What can you tell me about yourself? What can we? Oh, collective. You've been looking at your long-term goals and deciding about things. The rock bottom. There we go. There's conflicting energy here because I feel like you want to escape this rock bottom, but I also feel like you want to stay. I don't know why you would want to stay in rock bottom. That feels weird to me. You can leave and it's like you're like, but is it bad? I can make this work. Like if I throw down like a throw rug, put some flowers over there, get me a nice day bed. No, why would you want to stay? That's no. Seven of Pentacles upright, long-term view, hard work, perseverance, diligence, suitable results, and investment. This is a card that comes out when you're at an impasse, you're at that fork of the road, and you're deciding, did I get enough out of this to continue on this path, or should I pivot and go with another direction? And there's a tug of war. There's a part of you, the Seven of Pentacles, that wants to stay the course. And there's the Ten of Swords that's like, hell no, get the fuck out. Leave. Collective, you in some interesting energy this month. I'm not even gonna hold you. This is a huge tug of war that's going on with the collective this month. The world. Wrap it all up for me. Hot thank you. Rest. I'm laughing because the overwhelming amount of cards that are out here right now are swords. You got the Nine of Swords, the Ten of Swords, and now the Four of Swords. And then if I'm also factoring in the hidden cards, and hidden cards are energies that are not physically in your environment. They're more like the behind the scenes energy. So think of them as kind of like the puppet masters that's pulling the strings and making things go right or wrong. Unseen forces, if you will. You got a 9 and you got a 10. And that's the Ace of Swords, which I commented on. And then you got the Four of Swords. So 4 from 10, that gives you a Six of Swords. Not only are you struggling emotionally with staying or leaving a situation, you're also struggling mentally with staying or leaving a situation. The heart and the hit, like your heart and your mind can't figure it out. It's finding reasons to stay or go. I do want to say because this card is upright. This card is in reverse. That is sideways. So again, you're at a fork in the road where you're like, mentally, you're like, should I stay? Should I go? But on an emotional level, you're digging your heels in. You don't want to go emotionally. And it's almost like your mind now has to do double the effort to not only convince itself to leave, but also to convince your heart to leave. Interesting. And then the world has the Four of Swords, which is all. This is the rest card. I just they wanted me to acknowledge that before I do any more subtraction. The card I have in my hand, for those who are interested, this is the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords upright is about rest, relaxation, meditation, contemplation, recuperation, retreat, renewal, and solitude. You need a vacation more than you need anything else. I ain't gonna lie. You need one of those like no technology retreats where you go into the mountains, you go to a beach, you go to the woods, you go somewhere, and your only company that you're allowed is you yourself. That's it. Like, you know how people are like, oh, the only company I need is me, myself, and I. That's what you need. You need to recalibrate. Because I honestly don't think you know if you're coming or going. Yeah. And then okay. And they're bringing me back to the 9. So the 4 from the 9, oh, now it makes sense. That's why they wanted me to pause and acknowledge the rest of recuperation, because this is how it's tied into the 9. Collective, I am so sorry. That's a 5 of Swords. The 5 of Swords in tarot is the betrayal card. That's the card. For those who are not familiar, in the Rider-Waite system, it's the card that has like 3 figures on it, and they just finished battling each other. So you have one figure who has one sword, you have another figure that has another sword, and then you have the individual that's standing the closest to the card or the front of the card that you can see them fully and clearly, and they're grinning at their accomplishment while holding 3 swords, basically meaning that this is a person who will do any and all things to come out ahead. I'm just going to call a spade a spade. There is someone here that feels like they were the victim of selfish, egotistical actions, and that's why they're reeling. That's why they don't know if they want to stay or if they want to go, because they're weighing the options. Like, is what I went through, can I honestly forgive and forget and stay in this with this person or stay in this situation, or should I just cut my losses and leave? Because if they were able to do this to me, they can do it again or even do worse. So again, this is why you're stuck with, do I leave the 10 of swords or do I stay the course? First and foremost, you need to rest, because rest is what's going to give you perspective, and you're going to see how stuck you truly are, and that's going to break it. And then I just want to get some advice, and then I can break it down for the 3 areas of your life and how this would be playing out. Yeah, Ace of Cups. Oh, the card. Oh, man. 2 of Cups. Okay. Wow. So the cards you got out here for the advice: Ace of Cups in reverse, which is emotional loss, block creativity, emptiness, need for self-love, intuition. Like I said, you already know this. You know this, and you're not listening to yourself. And repressed emotions. You got the 5 of Wands out here, which is funny because you got a five of swords behind the scenes, but physically you got a five of wands out here for the advice. And five is the number of freedom and change. When the five of wands is in reverse, it's about a need to avoiding conflict. Yeah, so it's like you're trying to avoid conflict, you're respecting differences, you're agreeing to disagree, and diversity. And last but not least, Two of Cups. Two of Cups is unified love, partnerships, mutual attraction, proposal, marriage, and connection. And I know you're like, that is a confusing message. How can love be in reverse in the beginning, but then there's like this healthy love at the end? This is more so what's waiting for you when you leave this situation. So basically what they're saying is you need to acknowledge that this, if it's a relationship or it's a situation, it's not beneficial for you. It's not worth fighting for. And there's honestly something better and more in alignment for you when you leave. Okay. Now I can break this down for the 3 areas of your life with all the cards out here. Hello. If this is love and a relationship, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. If you're in a relationship or if you've recently started a relationship and in either camp you're questioning, is this relationship worth staying? Well, it is not. And the reason why it's not is because this relationship has been keeping you up at night. This relationship has made you question even doing the most simplest things in life. It's robbing you of your creativity. It's robbing you of your passion. You don't feel like yourself in this relationship. You really feel like you're just spinning your wheels in mud. And you don't deserve that. You need to like let whatever this relationship is doing to you go. And I know you're like, yeah, but I mean, my soul is trying to hint at the fact that I need to leave and let it go, but I can't. I'm really stuck emotionally in this person. I heard potential. Okay, you are stuck in this person's potential. You're stuck in how this person made you feel in the beginning. I'm not going to lie, it feels love bombing. Um, if this isn't you per se, this Knight in reverse, this is the person you're dealing with. I feel like I'm not gonna lie. This is fuckboy energy. This is fuckboy energy, and that's why it mess with your emotional state. And you're trying to see the better of the person, and your soul is like, there is no better. Let the relationship die, and that's going to be how you get out of the rock bottom. Don't try and keep putting more in, because I feel like this 7 of Pentacles, this you trying to put more in, this is a sunk cost fallacy. And what I mean by that is it doesn't matter how much love, how much attention, how many resources, thank you try and put into this dynamic, you're putting it into a black hole. It's not going to get better. And you're not going to get a payoff. You need to just cut your losses, and you're going to be able to see that when you take time away to yourself. You need to isolate, take time away, really rest, recuperate, get back to yourself, and see that no, the only thing that's holding you back is yourself. Like releasing this relationship is actually what's for your highest and greatest good. And in that way, you can embrace the advice. And the advice is, yep, this relationship is not in alignment. It's not, thank you. It's not filling your cup. It's not filling your cup in the way that you want in a relationship. It's not worth the conflict and the hassle that you put yourself through, especially with an egotistical person who is really just looking out for their betterment, and they don't care about betrayal. They don't care about heartbreak. They just care about what's making them feel good at the end of the day. You don't deserve that. And honestly, a better relationship is out there. And you're only going to find it when you take the chance of leaving this and going after that. I hope that helped. For people where this is career and finances. Hello, welcome. You're in a dead end job, but you already know that. This is a job where essentially you are not able to be as, I want to say, creative as you want to be. I know that that's also going to be for like the creative and spirituality portion, so I don't want to get too much into creativity, but I just feel like on a soul level, you are in a field that is not in alignment with you. It could also be because there's a lot of partnership energy that came up in this too. You might be trying to start a business or you're running a business with a partner and you're realizing y'all are not in alignment with the direction of where the business needs to go. And you're being pulled to just kind of like go your separate way, do your own thing, and you're scared about doing that, maybe out of loyalty to this person or just a fear that you don't think that you can continue alone and you work better with a partner. If that's the case, you still need to like take some time away, dissolve the partnership, rest, recuperate. You'll see it for what it is. And if you do need another partner, now the space is open for a new partner to come along and to fill that void. But honestly, I do think for a lot of you, realizing just you're better on your own because whatever that partner had, you're going to be able to fill it for yourself. Because the Two of Cups can also just be both sides of you. Like you realizing, like, hey, I am whole. I am the masculine. I am the feminine. Or I am everything that I need to run a business. I don't always need to outsource my needs to other people. I could do it myself. If you're in a dead end job, well, it's soul crushing. I'm just going to be real with you. It's soul crushing. It's not satisfying you in the way that you need to. Yes, is it paying the bills? Seven of Pentacles. It is, but it's honestly better to leave. It's keeping you up at night. It's not satisfying you. You're getting honestly called to choose a job that's more in soul alignment with you. Um, yeah, there's better out there. You don't need to put up with what you've been putting up with. I think that's the main message here. You've been putting up with something in your career because you're worried about your finances, and it's just no, it's not. If you're investing in something, like if you're investing in stocks and you're worried about maybe I should take my money out and put it somewhere else, or just kind of like close down my investments for a while and wait for the market to become more stable because it's just a little too volatile for you, whatever it is you were investing in. I would say that that's a good understanding, and you can always reinvest in the market at a later date when it's not so chaotic. So I hope that helps for career finances. And last but certainly not least, hello for those who are here for creativity and spirituality. So what does this mean for you? Well, I already gave you a little bit of a hint in career and finances, but I'm going to say it again. This is about realizing that whatever you're doing, whether for creative purposes or spirituality purposes, it's no longer lighting you up. A practice, unfortunately, needs to end, or a creative pursuit is not yielding or you're not resonating with it the same way you were when you started it. So, examples, you could be someone that was trying to write a book and you've been stuck with writer's block for weeks, or you've been staring at a blank canvas and nothing is coming out. If this is a spiritual pursuit, some type of spiritual practice that you might have been doing for a while no longer resonates with you, it feels hollow. Like that's what I'm getting here. It feels hollow. And these things are supposed to feel this way because it's your soul saying, hey, I need to grow and I'm craving more than what I'm currently getting with either this spiritual practice or with this creative endeavor. So can we just leave it behind? And you're like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. I put so much into this. I know you're telling me to choose a different path and to leave this one and to let it die because something better will come from it. But I put so much into it. So don't you see? If we could just recommit, okay? You're honestly, it feels like you're bartering with your soul. You're trying to like make a deal with your soul. Like, look, if we could just finish this, right? If we could just finish this, then I will feel safe and secure to move on. But I don't want to leave it yet. I feel like if we just stay a little bit longer, it's going to pay off. And your soul is like, it won't. I'm not going to let it pay off. You've gotten everything you were supposed to get out of this cycle when it comes to either this spiritual practice or this creative endeavor. What you really need to do is you need to step back. You need to rest. You need to get a new perspective. And then you'll see that the lack of creativity or not feeling connected with the spiritual practice, it's a blessing. It's a blessing in disguise. And you'll also see that it's just not worth fighting for anymore. Like, this is not where you want to make your hill. This is not your last stand. You're not Napoleon. This is not your Waterloo. You're like, I'm meant for something better. You're walking away from it. And when you do finally walk away from it, that's when it's going to come in. Something that is more soul aligned to you. So there you go. I hope that helped. Let me know down in the comments if it did. And yeah, I'm just going to see you back here in August for your next reading. I do other videos here on my channel. I need to get back into doing Reiki videos. I do have a kind of newish, oldish thing coming back. It's called, the Hangout Sessions. I'm rebranding that as the Vibe Check. So be on the lookout for that. As I said earlier, if you want personal readings, Instagram, email, down in the description. Let me get a drink of water. Hope all of this helped. Again, let me know. Bringing my hands together. I wish you the best on using this information for your highest and greatest good to make the decisions that you need to. Namaste.